think I can probably safely say for all parents that we want our children to grow up good. We have lots of hopes for them and dreams for their future. And I know for myself as a parent, I do often wonder what kind of person my child will be when they grow up. What friendships will they have? How successful will they be? How well adjusted they'll be, especially as a counsellor, having that emotional awareness. And so I think it's a really important thing to have a vision for your children. It can help us to keep going. It gives us the motivation to really hold firm on our expectations, on our limits, on the things we hold ourselves accountable for as well. And of course, we have those lovely day-to-day moments, like a spontaneous cuddle or a laugh over something silly. And those can be really pleasurable in the moment experiences that we can really treasure. But of course, day to day, we come up against lots of different frustrations and conflicts. So what I need and what my child needs might not always coincide, and so there has to be a process of negotiation, which usually brings up some kind of frustration either in my child or in me, and I think that's true for any parent. Now, one of the challenges with experiencing frustration in our child is that they can really dig in. We might be asking them to do something and they really don't want to, and they kind of dig into their position and maybe even end up having a meltdown or a tantrum and really losing it. So they're in a place where they're so emotionally activated that it's difficult for them, and it's difficult for us as parents to witness that. You know, we often want to protect our children from extreme discomfort, and seeing them really wound up can be really heart-wrenching to see them in such a state. Of course, there are our own emotional reactions as well, and I've spoken before about how if we have learned as children that being angry or sad or moaning or shouting is unacceptable, then it's going to activate emotions within ourselves while we see our children acting out or melting down. So one of the things that we can really work on is building our own emotional resilience. We can just really start to work with the experience of being highly emotionally activated, taking a breath, noticing that this is happening, and there are specific strategies that you know you can work with somebody in person to kind of figure out what's the best strategy for yourself. But when you can really come to a place of knowing that you can actually hold those emotions within yourself, and hold the discomfort, hold the frustration, then there's more space to look at what your child is going through and to look at what your child is telling you. So again, another thing that I've mentioned is that children aren't mature enough to separate out the feelings that arise within them and the actions that they take. So as adults, we've matured enough, hopefully, mostly, to the point where we can have a feeling and just hold it, be aware of it. I'm really annoyed right now, or I'm really sad right now, and not to let that just kind of lash out or bring other people down unless we're actively reaching out for support and encouragement. So there's a pause, there's a space in between the feeling and what we do about it. But for children, right from infancy, there's a process of learning how to do that. So probably all the way through childhood, but certainly it's reactivated during adolescence, these feelings come up and they just can't help but be expressed. And so rather than thinking about what this means for a child's future, oh my gosh, they're behaving in this way or that way, oh my gosh, they've been really mean to somebody else, that must mean that they are this kind of person. We can instead take an in the moment view and look at what our child is going through and try and work out what they're trying to say to us. What emotion are they expressing? What is the frustration or the limit or the well, whether that's external or internal, or what are they facing? What are they struggling with? And when we've taken time to hold and be with our own emotions and to build our own emotional resilience, we can take a different view of what's going on with our child and what they're really expressing. Now, part of this process also includes letting go. What I mean by this is we're looking at our child, maybe they have been mean to another child, maybe somebody's taken a toy off them or not wanted to play with them and they've lashed out as a result of that. Rather than going into what we think about is going to happen to them in their future, oh my gosh, they're always going to be really antisocial, they're never going to have any friends, they're going to grow up to be really selfish, they're going to be really unkind. Let go of all of those interpretations about what it means about their personality and who they're going to grow up to be. Instead, look at in the moment. Your child is struggling with something that is happening right now. It doesn't mean anything about who they are as people or who they're going to be when they grow up. Just let go of all of that. Attend to your own emotional reactions and look at what your child is struggling with, from maybe even from a developmental position. How old are they? What are they capable of doing? What do they still have to learn? What are the exact circumstances of the situation they're facing? And how can you help them in the moment to manage that struggle? And it might mean, with the frustrations that they're experiencing, it might mean sitting with them and holding their emotions, their outbursts, in the same way that you can learn to hold your own. So not stopping them, letting them have that frustration, letting them have that upset, letting them experience that in the safe container of your holding arms, metaphorically or in real life. And so repeating these kind of interventions allows a child to discover for themselves through experience, through repetitive experience, being held by you, that they can manage these things, that they can take on board the frustrations of life. And in time, as they develop, as they mature, they will come to a different way of dealing with the challenges that life faces. So just know that your child is probably doing fine. If there are struggles that they're facing in the moment and you are struggling around that, then get some help, take some time to really think about what it is that's activating you. And if you need further support, we at Dream Your Future Families offer counselling, we offer parent peer support group, listening groups, and we have a go-to guide with different easy and quick strategies that you can use to help you when emotions are starting to rise, when things are getting a little bit frustrating. There are specific strategies that you can learn and go to and use time and time again that will help you to be that safe container for your child. So if you want to have a look at that, look at the link below the video, and or alternatively just go to our website and you'll find it there, dreamyourfuturefamilies.co.uk.